And we'd like to welcome you to another special ETBU Sportsnet production. I'm Kenneth the K-Rock Klein, and this is another interview as we are currently honoring the top players in ETBU football history for the past 20 seasons since its inception in 2000. We are going to be going through a next 8-week process where we're going to be unveiling the top players from each position, where we're going to be interviewing some of the players, talking about great memories and stories from on and off the field as well. And we are currently unveiling our top defensive lineman. And joining us today, he is a two-time All-ASC member who was a part of the ETBU football squad from 2007 to 2010. I'm pleased to be joined by former defensive lineman Evan Beaton. Evan, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me on. It's an honor and a great opportunity.
Yes, indeed. Well, congratulations first off on being part of this incredible distinguished honor. As you know, you had a successful career at ETBU. Before we get into all of that, talk about when you graduated from ETBU, what were you majoring in, and what exactly are you currently doing right now?
So I originally went to ETBU, obviously, to play ball. And so I knew I had to pick between A&M and being an engineer and going to ETBU and being a ball coach. And so I came in with the idea of, I'm gonna coach football, and then I was always good at math, so I had an emphasis in mathematics. I can't say math major; my wife will get mad at me. But I was education with emphasis in math, and then and so I graduated, like you said earlier, played 2007 to through the 2010 season. Graduated 2011 in May. And I would say that, right now I'm currently teaching and coaching at White House High School. I've been here. This is going on my 8th year. When I graduated, I spent 2 years in Coppers Cove in Central Texas, and then finally got an opportunity to come back home. I'm from White House, and so it's been an awesome opportunity to get to come back here. And but I'd say, I originally wanted to be a ball coach because of just coaches themselves and just the relationships I had and the impact, obviously, football has had in my life and just sports in general. Maybe not just football, but it's that really wanted, gave me that love for the game and wanted, that love for kids, really, I'd say, interned when I was at ETBU at a church, and that, working with kids, it was like, man, this is what I really want to do the rest of my life. And so, and here we are today.
Absolutely. So going back to your time at ETBU, what were some of the best moments, like best playing experiences you had as a football player for the Tigers in that time?
Well, we competed really well. I of course, playing defensive line, I feel like our defense was real successful. But, I would say that some of the funnest times I had was, taking teams like UMHB to the wire. My senior year, we took them into overtime and they won by a field goal. And obviously the reputation UMHB has of being a great football program. And I know we've beaten them since then, but it was a great feeling. I would say as a defensive tackle, I had 2 interceptions in my career, which were pretty highlighted. But, I would say that my most, I guess, best experience was just the relationships I had with my teammates and just, building that bond with people on the same side of the ball and knowing that you can trust the 10 dudes around you to make plays. I would say is really, even just the total of all 4 years was just overall just the greatest experience, and just kind of some of those lifelong friendships you have. And I know I could probably call any of those dudes today and they would be there. But those are some of the few I feel like are, I guess, highlights, if you will.
Absolutely. You had 2 interceptions, 28 tackles for loss, about 184 tackles, and 6 pass breakups as well. 5 quarterback hurries, 6 fumbles recovered, and 2 forced fumbles throughout your entire career. So that's not really bad stats for a defensive lineman of your caliber, to say the least.
I'm glad you said that. I don't even know my stats, to be honest. I just know I had 2 picks, and anyway, that's cool.
Yeah, well, we just had to bring it up just to kind of let you know why you were part of this.
Yeah,
also, you were a 2-time All-ASC selection in one of the best conferences in NCAA Division III. What does that mean to you to be recognized, not just by, being part of the ETBU's list, but also being recognized by the whole conference, but for your play?
Yes, sir. It was, I mean, it was definitely a goal of mine. I think, coming in as a freshman, my goal was to get playing time. And obviously coaches gave me an opportunity to do that. And then as you kind of, further your career, it's, hey, now I want to make a mark in the conference. And, my junior year, I think it was honorable mention, if I remember correctly. And then, going into that summer of my senior year, it's kind of like, this is your last hoorah. Obviously I've always felt like I was a team player and doing whatever I could to make our team better. But it is a great accomplishment, especially when, you look at some of the other guys that have made all conference selections in this conference. There's some guys that I've known have gone on to play, whether it was CFL or Arena League, or even some guys I know have gone to be free agents before. It's definitely a great accomplishment and a great honor to be a part of, an all-conference team and be recognized for, the work that you've put in and the I say stats, I guess, but it's a great accomplishment.
Absolutely. What does the overall experience that you had at ETBU meant to you, and what impact did it make on you?
And being a high school coach now, talking to kids, there's a big push for, hey, I want to go D1. I want to be a Division I athlete. College football is college football. I went there because I love the game. And I really didn't know what it was going to be, what kind of impact it was going to have on my life, 9 years later, or really, I guess, 10 years. This is coming up on my, 10-year reunion, if you will, from graduating college. But, I loved my experience. It was well worth it, and I would do it over again if I had to. Some of the relationships that I built there are, like I said, lifelong relationships. I still talk to a lot of those people on a daily, weekly basis, follow them on Instagram, social media, and things like that, which we're all having kids now, so it's cool to see guys and women, raise family. And then, of course, I met my wife there. The ring before spring didn't happen my freshman year, but it did happen my sophomore year. And we actually got married shortly after she graduated from ETBU the next day. And so, I wouldn't change it for the world. I know it's a small school, but, I'm a firm believer that college is what you make of it. Professors there love you. They want a great relationship with you. They're going to do whatever they can to help you out. And then, the people that you're going to school with, like brothers and sisters, you spend, you're not going off campus very much. So you spend literally all day with each other, developing relationships. And I think you get an opportunity with other students to challenge you, and not just personal growth, but spiritual growth as well. And then obviously being part of a program like ETB football also pushes you physically and mentally. And I think overall it's just a great experience that, like I said, they could charge twice as much and I would still go back, just because of the things that I gained there in a personal level, and then, like I said, spiritually as well.
Yeah, you talk about being from White House, Texas. Of course, it's a part of the East Texas, so you have that bit of an East Texas mentality, to say the least. Like, for those that might not be familiar about being a high school football player from the East Texas area as well, just kind of talk about the mentality, and also like why high school football players in that area specifically. I know that you probably might be talking to your football players about potential college destinations and all that. Like, why you feel that players from your area, or for your team or that area specifically, should consider getting ETBU a look.
One, I think we're obviously ETBU has started to turn some heads and make some runs, and I know everybody loves winning, but I think the coaching staff that ETBU's always had, even though it's changed multiple times since I've left, one is they're going to put each other relationships first. They're going to put kids first. They're going to put God first before football. But to me, it was One, I love the campus, and it's made a lot of changes since I've graduated. But we still play good football, even though it's a small school. It's still great football, and it's high quality. It's competitive. I actually was talking to a UMHB coach yesterday that recruited me in high school, and he was like, "Why did you not? Why did you go to ETBU versus UMHB?" And man, there's something about obviously home, but I think ETBU is obviously recruiting kids from all over the state. But Division III, the ASC plays great football, and ETBU is going to give you that small. I don't say it's obviously not a big school atmosphere, but it's enough of a college atmosphere that you're going to enjoy and have fun. And to me, like I said earlier, I think college is all about what you make of it. So, but I loved it just because not only because I was close to home, but it's great football here. And Texas football is the best in the country, in my opinion, and the opinion of a lot of others. So, yeah, I enjoyed it. I try to encourage a lot of guys that are at that level to give them a look. And so we've had a few, but
yeah, certainly. And of course, being from White House, Texas, of course, I don't know if there's any small town Texas town that's kind of more prouder at this point because, as it turns out, your most famous resident happens to be from that area. That, of course, being Patrick Mahomes, who, by the way, just turned 25. So obviously, arguably the best quarterback in the NFL right now, ringing MVP, Super Bowl champion as well. So I guess, maybe a little bit of confliction to say the least. Are you a Kansas City Chiefs fan, being because it's Patrick Mahomes, or and if so, what memories about Mahomes do you have? I mean, this is kind of
yeah, so I would say I'm for sure a Patrick fan. He's an unbelievable ball player. Being from White House, not just coaching here, but being from here, I got the opportunity to umpire some of his Little League games, watch him play Little League basketball, and you knew at that point, like, man, this kid's special. Now, obviously, could you have predicted him being, the way he is now or having this much success? No. But I remember, umping some games and people would talk about his dad, like, oh, Big Pat's here, try to go get his autograph, because he pitched for the Rangers for a short time. And so, we're super proud of him. I actually have a little brother that's a year older than him. So I still was real involved with White House football, even when I wasn't here, whether I was at ETBU or whether I was coaching in Cove. But my first year back at White House, I did get an opportunity to come back and coach his senior year, which was an awesome experience. We had a great group of guys, not just Patrick, but, defensively and offensively, we had some great talented guys. And, I actually coached corners that year. And so, let's just say he most of the time won those 7-on-7 battles. We'd do the 2-minute drill, and as you can tell, it was pretty hard to stop him then, much like it is now. He can pretty much do whatever he wants when he wants. But shout out to that guy for a 25th birthday. But it was cool to watch him grow and mature and lead a football team just like he is now with the Kansas City Chiefs. I wouldn't say he's changed one bit. Very, very humble. Obviously, his pocketbook's changed a little bit, but great man now, if you will, and we are super proud of him. And like I said, it was cool just to kind of see him grow up and now live out his dreams and have the success he's having right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't wait for today when White House has a special reunion and Patrick Mahomes is speaking at an assembly, just kind of talking about how you can be from a small town and still live out your dreams, to say the least.
Absolutely.
Yeah. ETBU, of course, being a faith-based institution, how has faith used your time to help you out with what you're doing as of right now?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I didn't go there originally because of it being a Baptist school. I would say that it's there where I really came to know the Lord and develop a relationship. I would consider that was kind of like when I became a Christ follower. And so it obviously opened up some doors for me when I was in school to do some D-nows. And like I said, I interned at our local church here, and gave me that real passion and love for working with kids, and understanding, I say the importance of, but just the wanting a relationship with God. And so, and I think now, being in my shoes, coaching now, I think, loving on kids is what, the Lord has put on my heart, to change lives and to mentor kids. And, unfortunately, a lot of our kids don't get that on a daily basis, just the love and support they need. And so I feel like because of my relationship with God and the love for kids he's given me that I initially developed while at ETBU, really allows me to, be open and build relationships with kids and hopefully have an impact for the gospel in just a small town like White House. But I would say that all started at ETBU, and it's not because I went there because I knew it was a faith-based, school, but because when I got there, it was a group of young men that I plugged myself into that really poured into me. I think of two names, Thad Fortune, who was a quarterback there my freshman year, and then Rodney McClain, who's actually Thad's the OC at Odessa Permian, pretty big school, and Rodney McClain's the head coach at Mesquite Poteet. And those two guys right there started a Bible study along with Chad Glover, who I looked up to going to ETBU, who's also, I would say, far more superior defensive lineman than I'll ever be, but because he was from White House. But it's because of guys like that wanted to pour into young people who or the reason why I would say I even have a relationship with God now. So, like I said, it's awesome because now I get to pour into kids every day, and share Christ to them, even whenever that's frowned upon. It's, I work with a special group of men that all of us see eye to eye when it comes to that. And, hopefully through the way we interact with those kids, hopefully they see Jesus on a daily basis. Now, sometimes that's not the case, but I would say hopefully that's what they're gathering from us.
Absolutely. And one final question for you, Coach. Any words of wisdom that you might like to leave with us, just, from your heart?
I probably could sit here and talk a whole lot about that. But, and obviously in a time like we're in right now, I can't tell you how important it is just to love God and love people. And I think ultimately that's what Christ asks us to do. And so, I think if we can, be humble enough to love people first, obviously to love God, then love people, then I feel like our life's going to be a whole lot better. Life's not about you. It's not. And the quicker that we understand that life's not about ourselves and it's about other people, to me, I feel like the more joy you will have in whatever comes your way in life. And so, I don't know, maybe that's it.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, congratulations once again for making our top players at ETBU's list. We congratulate you also on an outstanding career, and we wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. It's an honor. I really do appreciate it, and never thought something like this would happen, especially like you said, a small town kid from White House. But, I'll be the first one to tell you, it wasn't just me. I had a lot of supporting cast around me and a great group of coaches, bunch that I keep up with to today. My defense coordinator works 15 minutes down the road at Tyler Lee, and then there's some other coaches still in the game as well. And so, but it is a humbling experience, and I appreciate this honor. And I enjoy seeing what else is to come from all these awards, and hopefully I get to see some guys that I played with on there as well.
Yes, indeed. Well, we can't wait for that. Once again, congratulations. That is Evan Beaton, a member of the ETBU's top defensive lineman on the all-time team in ETBU history. And tune in next time on the ETBU Sportsnet. We will unveil our next recipient. Stay tuned.